C1music.fm, The Familiar. It is your host for the evening, Aaron Robinson. You know how we do all day, every day. We definitely in the building. I have my panel in the building tonight. What's going on, panel?
I'm good.
Good.
Ready for it.
Good. So, as always, we record every Monday night, and tonight is last Monday in February. If you want to join us on a call, you can join the call by calling 908-316-8630, or you can join us by web link meetings.dialpad.com/C1 Productions. I also want to encourage everybody to either join our mailing list so that you can be notified every time a new episode is released, or send me your telephone, email me or send me your telephone number so I can send you a link when the new episodes come out for this show. And if you want to be notified for other shows that we're doing on our network, we can do that as well. Definitely want to plug real quick that me and Sister Evans, we have our own podcast, Let's Talk About It, which we're doing a study on marriages this month. The episode we did last week is titled Order in the Court, Part 1. Definitely, y'all should check it out. It's very interesting. And we're going to be doing Part 2 this week. So for everybody, I just wanted to put my plug in there and, join us for that content as well. All right, I have Samantha, what's going on? I have my panel on the line, and we are about to get started. Tonight's topic is parental approval. Parental approval. Is everybody ready?
Yes.
All right, let's jump into it. It can be a devastating thing when you think you found a perfect partner and your parents disapprove of them. If you're close to your parents, you want their approval of your marriage, but you also want to remain loyal to the person you're committing to spending the rest of your life with. So the upshot is that you're torn with a capital T. And to be honest with you, the question is raised: why is parental approval so important? And there's two reasons. Parental approval is related to marriage success, and for these two reasons. Number one, approving parents are more supportive of you two's relationship and marriage. Or number two, disapproving parents may be seeing real problems that will create difficulties for the couple. So, again, the question was, why do parents disapprove the question was raised, why do your parents disapprove of your relationship? And some of the reasons could be that they might be concerned that your partner is not right for you. The second reason could be they might be concerned for your safety and well-being. The third reason is that they may have noticed behaviors or interactions that raises concerns. The fourth one is that they might be jealous. The fifth one, they might approve that you are marrying someone from outside of your culture. That you're marrying someone from outside of your culture or religious background. And the last one is there might be a lack of boundaries. Do y'all agree with those reasonings of disapproval?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes parental disapproval is rooted in genuine concerns, or sometimes they just stem from personality differences. But it can also result from a dysfunctional family relationship. With that, in the Bible, parents at times did strange things to find someone they approve of. We can come up with various stories about this topic in the Bible where, I can name a few of them off the top of my head, where, a parent sent someone out to find a spouse or a partner for their children. All the way starting back with Abraham. there's many stories in the Bible, and I'm going to pick one of them, but I would like to challenge everyone on the panel to consider, with that in mind, who they would approve of if their son was to settle within this scenario that I'm about to put out there, and why. Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, so I want everyone to meet Gerard. He is a professor at a law school and a single God-fearing man. He is also your son, and he is at a stage in his life where he wants to settle down and get married and start a family. Plus, he wants some grandkids. 1 week out of the blue, he met 3 different women at 3 different times and places who all showed interest and promise into dating him and being potential candidates for him to marry. So during the course of him dating all 3 women at the same time to narrow down, he brings them all over at different times to visit you and ultimately get your advice on the lady that he should settle down with. Here are the 3 ladies. The first woman, name is Ariel, and she is a Christian and is also career-oriented and works as a lawyer at a prestige law firm. She likes her independence, and she says that if she settles for marriage, her man needs to make the same amount of money as her or more, and she wants a man that wants to travel and wants to explore the world. She also stated that her man needs to have a life, as she wants someone that is available for her, but also wants someone that will work around her schedule and let her hang out with her friends from time to time. She says she wants to have kids as long as having kids won't derail her career. That's Ariel. Second woman, her name is Lauren. She is also a Christian and is working her way up the ranks as a police officer. She has a son from her previous relationship. She was never married but had a child to the guy that she lost her virginity with, and this was the only guy she ever dated. She is now a police officer and takes pride in her work and always talks about how she arrests and chases down men and women each and every day. She agrees that her job is dangerous, but she loves what she does. She is looking to settle down and get married, but knows that she has to marry someone that will accept her doing police work. She recently said that she's applying to do undercover work for the narcotics department and at times could be away from the home as she wouldn't work regular hours. She says that if she gets the job, her son will have to stay with her mom until the undercover work is over. That is Lauren. The last girl, the young lady name is Latrell. Latrell is barren and can't have any kids. However, she works as an administrator for her church, which is a big name church in your area. She's in charge of putting events and programs for teens and young adults and love her job as well. Latrell mentioned several times that she would love to be a stay-at-home mom. Although she can't have kids, she would love to adopt. Out of these 3 women, which woman would you tell your son to settle down with and why?
Mm. Mm. Mm.
The floor is yours.
Oh.
I think I would go with Latrell.
Why?
You can adopt kids. You can adopt kids, and she wants to be a mom, and she does work that I think is great. I think it's something that can help people. So yeah, I would go with Latrell.
You would say Latrell off the top of the fact that she works with kids and she wants to be a stay-at-home mom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think that would be great.
But then that means that they will be relying on his only income in the house.
Oh, that's okay.
All right. I'm asking, I'm just.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
you do.
So can you say she works?
what's your reason though? But she works right now at her church. But you're saying like that.
Out of the 3, I would choose Latrell. A police officer and then going undercover at that. Yeah, that's asking a lot for me.
So you would take
Yeah, I would choose her
you would
too.
turn to Lauren is a no go because she's the police officer.
Yeah, and she does dangerous work. She's not just a police officer. She's an undercover. It's just, ooh, yeah. I'd be worried.
What
If
about
I was him, I would be worried all the time about her.
what about Ariel? She works at a law firm. She's a lawyer as well.
Yeah, but she
And
sounds
she
a little
want too much.
She sounds a little self-centered.
Mm. Yeah, a lot.
They both be well off.
Money's not everything.
I'm just throwing out. I'm throwing it all out. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
but I really want to narrow down to why, because the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, believe it or not, this type of scenario is somewhat of what today's generation is offering young men in the world. And so I wanted to speak to you ladies because most of you all on here are parents, for the most part. And so everybody has different values and everything. And so I really wanted to know, from a value standpoint, why did you pick Latrell? I mean, outside of saying that, she works with kids and she wants to have kids, even if she has to adopt. What is the other main reason why Latrell would be the one that you choose for your son?
And she's a Christian too, right?
All three of them are Christians.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just think she would raise my kids the way
your grandkids.
I would want my grandkids raised, Yeah. I just think she would make a happy home.
Okay. Anyone else? Yeah, Mark, you was about to say something?
I forgot. No, but I would choose her too. Although she's very much, she does want to adopt kids. She's not asking for a whole lot where the other two are, especially the first one.
I mean, the first one is what most modern day independent women are looking for.
Are what they are.
Yeah, what they are.
Yeah, but to have somebody work around your schedule all the time. You want me to work around? You want him to work around her schedule? She has a lot of demands. The second one is really in
dangerous situation.
Not to say that God can't take care, just can't take care of us all and keep her safe and everything, but she's in a very dangerous job throughout the day, all the time. You would constantly be worrying about her. The other one seems a little more like a homebody, and she would be home, the homemaker and type woman. And plus, with the other two, I'd have their kids all the time.
Man. Okay.
Yeah, I think Latrice is more marriage material also than the other two.
But it would depend on how what's the man's name?
Your son Gerard. Yeah.
Gerard.
Yeah, it would depend on too what he wants. Like what would he want to even live like where, first of all, for the first one,
Ariel,
and Ariel, and then the second one, if she's undercover, he would, and if she's undercover, she can't tell him anything.
Right.
So she wouldn't, I would be worried about where she is and all that.
So let's say she stopped working undercover, but she's still a police officer. Would that change anything?
Is she out in the field
Maybe.
or does she have desk job?
And she out in the field.
Right.
She's out in the field.
That would be a little better than being undercover.
Yeah. Because undercover,
That
you
would
can't
be
tell him nothing.
All right. Somebody else was about to say something?
I would say if the police officer is in the field but not undercover, that's a possibility. Because you have a dangerous job, but there's a lot of people who have dangerous jobs. If he can deal with that, if Gerard is okay with accepting that's a lot to accept, then that's a possibility. But Ariel, that's the first woman. I would probably say no, because it'll end up being the nanny raising the children,
The nanny?
or the grandparents raising the children, possibly, because she says she wants to advance in her career. Lawyers have very demanding schedules. So if she wants to keep increasing, that's more and more time away from the house. So she could have a child or children, but she's not going to be able to spend much time with him. And he's a lawyer too. So
he's a professor. He just teaches law at a school. He's not actually a lawyer.
He teaches law.
He teaches law.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. Well, in that case, if he's okay with what she's presenting, that's a possibility, but she might not be around that much.
All right, but you saying it from
okay?
you're speaking from understanding his point of view. I'm asking you, which one would you choose for your child, your son? Which one would you recommend?
The third choice. I'd rather have her. She doesn't have a dangerous job. She's going to be home. Morel, she's going to be around, and she's putting the children before a career because she's not going to have a career. She's going to be a stay-at-home mom, and that's very demanding. So.
All right, so I got 4 for Latrell so far. June, I don't know what were you picking Latrell as well?
Yeah, I was going with Latrell's the last girl, right?
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's 5. So I need Jen, First Lady, and Samantha. I need you 3 input.
I wouldn't pick. I wouldn't choose for him. He would have to make his own choice.
You wouldn't recommend?
Yeah, because we're not choosing for him. You're just asking us who we would prefer, right?
Correct.
Okay.
You just giving your parental approval.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because let me just say one other thing is that, this is who I would prefer, but my thing is if you like them, I love them, because you the one kind of got to deal with it, So,
but you can still say that you can still give your opinion like, hey, this one I think will be a better ideal situation because this, and this, and then because I don't have to watch the kids neither.
Right.
It's got to be first and foremost.
She said that got to be first and foremost.
Is the kids traveling too, or what? Yeah.
All right, but so
what? Talk about for the second one?
No.
Watch for who?
She's saying that the first and the second one, I guess.
Yeah, the first 2.
Well, because the second one, I thought that she was going to be at his other grandmother.
Possibly, yeah. That is true.
That's what you said in the story.
But because they're not married right now. So right now.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hypothetically,
yeah. Mm-hmm. For the time being, and on top of that, she's not doing undercover work as at the moment. She's applying to do undercover work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right now, she's just a regular police officer.
That would be tough for me because I would have to see how they interact and more than just careers, like their personality and like I said, how they interact with my son, how they work together. Because honestly, if the lawyer, if Ariel, maybe my son wants to be a stay-at-home dad, just like the third one wants to be a stay-at-home. Maybe, if she's making so much money, maybe they decide and they work it out that way. I'm not Everybody's household is
Yeah.
different. And she does. Each one has parents that they can go to. The kids, I'm saying, or
Right.
if they
But
had
I'm
kids or
asking
whatever. I mean,
for
it's not just,
for your ideal situation, for your parental
there's no.
approval, for your parental approval then.
Honestly, I wouldn't. I don't think that I would. I don't think I'd be like, yeah, they're all good. I mean, unless one of them was kind of snarky or something like that, like being rude, or I wouldn't base it off of their career.
I
I
didn't say
wouldn't
you
solely
had
base
to.
it off of their career goals or stuff like that. I'm saying, but that's all we have kind of to go along.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
saying you getting the
I
first
wouldn't rule
impression.
out.
You getting the first impression. Let's say all three of them are cool and everything, but I mean, for instance, I don't have a issue with the reasoning that Ms. Plummer started off with, because in a quote unquote ideal situation, I think that the third option would present a better family structure, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she is the best one for him. But I mean, when you're looking at an ideal situation, I do believe Latrell would present a more family traditional home than the other two. But that doesn't mean that the other two can't work. I just wanted to hear you ladies' opinion and why y'all would choose the person that y'all would choose. So Jen, just to be clarification, you saying that you wouldn't approve of
Say,
anybody?
Gerard, who's next? Oh, who's going? Who
keep them
won?
coming. Who's next? Keep them coming.
Yeah, who's next? Who won? Which one? I really wouldn't.
But you
Yeah.
wouldn't get it.
I agree.
You
I
wouldn't give
agree with
him.
her. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't give your approval.
I
Like,
mean, every time he introduced her, I'm like, yes. I mean, she nice.
Mm-hmm.
there been.
That would be it for me.
I don't.
I'm just saying from my experience, I'm not gonna. Unless I see something different. Yeah, something adverse about them, like something bad about them. No, I'm not. I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
And First Lady, you saying that you wouldn't give your opinion neither?
It would have to be something really bad, something really bad about the person. For me to be like, oh no, I don't think that you should marry her or whatever. I don't. It would have to be something that stand out. And I agree. Even with the first lady, even though like you're saying those, she into her career and all that stuff.
She said she want to have kids as long as it doesn't derail her career.
Yeah, but if she'll deal with that when it comes. I'm saying, I don't know. I don't know. I don't just because the ladies stay at home and work at our church and everything. I mean, that doesn't make her. If my son doesn't mind, and got faith enough to trust God that his police wife gonna, it may not be the job that I would want for her, but I'm saying that if that's her choice of jobs and he likes it, then I would have to use that phrase what June said. With whoever he chooses, if you like him, I love him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me ask this on the individual status then. Actually, Samantha, do you want to chime in real quick on this?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm here. I wouldn't choose. I wouldn't know what to do.
So you wouldn't choose anyone? You wouldn't
No.
you wouldn't approve of anybody?
No.
And what's your reason for not giving your opinion?
I don't. I mean, I just choose not to. There's more than just one reason. I just choose not to. It's the main one.
But if they Because if they were abusive or something bad, then like I'm saying, then yeah, I would say something. But if
But why? I mean,
they were,
there have been many
hmm?
times. Me personally, I've brought females over to the house and was looking for your your feedback on how you felt about them, and you gave me your opinion or whatever the case may be. I mean, so
but
I don't see what
but
would be wrong with
well,
you giving your opinion.
how old were you? Were you at marrying age or whatever? Because pretty much as you got older, the girls you brought around, I liked them all.
So that would be hard to choose.
That should have been you.
Okay.
But you know what? I think the question that Aaron, he's not asking you to choose.
Yes.
Right.
He's just
Yeah, I
asking
know.
your opinion. You're not choosing for them because although I said my opinion, I like the last one,
Right.
but she might end up being the worst one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you never know. But just
Yeah.
from we're not choosing for him because he's got the last say so. You know
Correct.
who
Right.
he wants or who he's dealing with. But Aaron is just saying,
Yeah, I
"What's
know.
your opinion?"
Right. Just to
There's
give you
still
a
some
parental
influence
approval.
over it, though. I think there's
Not
still
that
some
you
influence.
choose the last one. It don't mean you go marry her. You know,
Correct.
I'm just. It's just. I just said the last one because the first, like I said, the first one was she was abandoned too much. The second one was like her life was really dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But she might end up being the one for him. I don't know.
Right.
But it was my opinion
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
and she could still end up being the worst one. You know.
True.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just saying their lives are just very busy. The other two, their lives. I would want a daughter-in-law that we could kind of like hang out and do things together, but not to say that you can't with the other two, but their lives are going to be so much more busier.
Busy.
They don't have that kind of time
Joan,
for you get to really like that.
Joan, Ariel, you could travel with Ariel. Y'all can go all visit a whole bunch of countries.
Yeah, if I can work around Ariel's schedule,
I
mean, I don't think I would want to
You're talking
necessarily.
about her work schedule, though, right?
I want to know when she gonna have a baby.
Jen, what you
want to do?
Jen, what you was about to say, Jen?
I mean, I wouldn't be concerned necessarily about hanging out with my daughter-in-law. She needs to go ahead and she got her friends. I mean, maybe we could hang out when we have a family function, but she don't need to be knocking on my door, on a random Wednesday. So, I mean, as long as she gets along with my son and they build together, however they're going to build together, whether she excels in her career and he's like, I'm going to retire, or whatever, stay home, and she excels, or they work together, and
So
or it's the third one. Either way, no, I'm not really.
So I want to ask you this question, Jen. Is it important for you to have a relationship with your son's wife? Is that important for you or no? As long as he's happy.
Yes, a relationship. Yes. Like, I don't know how close. She doesn't have to be, super close to me.
Wow. I'm glad you got my mother-in-law.
I'm telling you.
I love my daughter-in-law. And we see each other enough, but I think, no, I don't want her to, we don't call each other every day. I don't.
I'm not saying that when I say hang out that we have to speak every day, but I do want to be able to, if, we can get together sometimes. When it comes to family functions, you just said, okay, about a family function, but I don't want it to be always that when we have something that, she's unable because of due to, working all the time or so hard. I work so hard, I'm too tired to go to this, that, and the third. I'm just saying in those kind of ways. Not that she's got to be knocking on my door every day. But I would still, I'd want a relationship with her. And yeah.
That I agree with. I would want a relationship too. So yeah, that would be important to me.
Okay. All right. So I pretty much got a general idea of what everybody's saying. I do want to flip it real quick before I go into my Bible story. I do want to flip it
But
real
let me
quick.
just ask you before you do, Aaron.
Okay.
So is there anybody that you introduced me to that I said I didn't like them?
Without saying any names,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You gonna have to
I
tell
mean,
me
you
later,
you didn't necessarily say you didn't like her, but you said that I'll tell you. You said that she turned you off when she went in your refrigerator.
Oh well, okay.
Carol, I knew when you said that. That could not have been.
I liked her until then, until she came to visit, and then when she was making herself too much at home for her first visit.
I don't know if that was her first visit. That might have been.
Eating stuff she shouldn't.
That wasn't the first
Away.
visit. That might have been the first time you met her.
First visit?
Nah, that was like maybe her second or third visit.
Okay, but she was taking it a little bit too far. But I still did not like her. She kind of turned me off. But wasn't that? I mean, if you would have married her, I mean, we would have built that relationship. I just that visit did turn me off.
Told her off.
I didn't know. I didn't say anything. I didn't, but I did not like her. I liked her.
Yeah,
but she did that particular thing turned me off. She was extra that visit. But then that could be with anybody. At any given time, a certain incident or something could annoy you.
Right. But I mean, I hear you. But that, even when you told me that kind of like was like, all right, yeah. She.
See, that's what I'm saying. Your influence. You still have influence.
That swayed you?
No, it didn't sway me.
Huh?
It didn't sway me. I mean,
No,
ultimately, it was my decision. But to me, that was more of, all right, the icing on the cake.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
It did.
No, it did. No, because
it did.
no. Listen,
Right.
hold on. Y'all running with my words. Hold on real quick.
Okay.
So, in that particular situation, you know what I mean? Like, I was going through a lot of stuff, so it was just like demanding. We was traveling back and forth trying to, actually, she was more or less traveling here.
Yeah, because she lived out of state.
Yeah, she was traveling more to me. I wasn't really in a situation where I could travel that much at the time. And so, long story short, you know what I mean? It was just kind of like, all right, yeah, I kind of like knew the writing was on the wall, so to speak. And I really wasn't, trying to waste my time. But I mean, the first, like, my mom did like it, at least in the beginning or whatever.
Yeah, I did.
So it wasn't like my mom was like not feeling her. And I mean, to say that she got mad because she went into her refrigerator is not a reason why I would not want to talk to somebody. But, you know what I'm saying? Just that vibe, you know what I mean? Kind of just, I hear where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying? It just was on that.
I think you just wasn't into her.
It wasn't that she went into it. It was just that whole time she was just extra. I mean, she act like she was at home. This was her house, and she was just extra that visit, and she just kind of got on my nerves.
No, I get it. I totally get it. You know what I mean? And I'm happy with who I settled with. I felt like she was a perfect fit for the family and anything else. So, you know what I mean? Just, that was all important to me as well, making sure that whoever I marry was also a perfect fit with, in my family or whatever the case may be. So those were things that I considered. So, you know what I mean? Like, not to say that the other young lady was a bad fit. It's just, you know what I mean? I knew overall, I knew that wasn't going to be like a perfect situation. Like, like the situation I'm in now. That's all I'm saying.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. So
Praise the Lord, brother.
we got 20 minutes. I want to throw this story out here in the Bible. So like I said, there's a lot of different situations where parents had to approve of their children getting married. You know what I mean? And created different scenarios for the approval. Some of them were justified, and some of them were bogus. And I want y'all to kind of tell me now, because this situation is coming from, I'm flipping it now, and this one is more of your father making a decision and approving for you to marry as well. So I want y'all to look at this scenario and speak from your own point of view of how your feelings would be with your father approving this marriage. Are you ready to jump in?
Yeah.
All right, so
Yes.
I want to take a look at Caleb. I think his name's Caleb, and how he found a suitable husband for his daughter. And so this is in Joshua chapter 15. I'm going to read in the New Century Version, and just from verse 13 to 20. So this is Joshua 15, verses 13 to 20. I'm going to read it real quick, and then I want y'all to kind of tell me how y'all feel. Verse 13, it says this: the Lord had commanded Joshua to give Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, part of the land in Judah. So he gave Caleb the town of Kiriath Arba, also called Hebron. Arba was the father of Anak. Verse 14, Caleb forced out 3 Anakite families living in Hebron, who are Sheshai, Ahaman, and Talmai, the descendants of Anak. Verse 15, then he left there and went to fight against the people living in Debir. In the past, Debir had been called Kiriath Sefer. Now we bring to 16. Caleb said, I will give Aksa, my daughter, as a wife to the man who attacks and captures the city of Kiriath Sefer. So your dad, just to pause right here, is saying that, any man that's worthy of marrying my daughter has to go and win this battle for me. And if you win this battle, then you can marry my daughter. So I would have to imagine that, especially if you ladies were his daughter and was very beautiful, that a lot of men would take up the challenge to be that close to the king and also have your hand in marriage. Would y'all agree? Crickets.
What?
I said, would y'all agree that a lot of the men, the soldiers in the army, will be wanting to take up the battle and fight, for your hand in marriage?
Right.
Right.
Yes.
So, in verse 17, Athaniel, son of Kenaz, who is Caleb's brother, who is also your uncle, went to go fight for your hand in marriage, captured the city. So Caleb gave his daughter Aksa to Athaniel to be his wife. So let's stop right there.
That's so messed up.
This is almost as sick as the other one.
Yeah.
Would you look at your uncle and be like, yo, bro, what are you doing? Like, why are you even going to fight?
Yeah, why are you going to
Put
fight?
down your sword.
Exactly.
So my man, her uncle, out of all the young men that wanted to go fight, her uncle goes so he can marry his niece. So
Why?
when you find out that it's your uncle that came back that same moment like Jephthah did, when you walk outside and you find that it's your uncle who's coming back smiling with that victory, what is your reaction?
I mean, he went after he wanted to marry his niece. He went out.
Uh-uh. I wouldn't marry him.
That's it.
You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, you would have a choice. Oh, so
What do you
gross.
mean wouldn't have
That's
a choice?
You don't get a choice.
Especially back in those days.
Your father
You're
said that.
almost like
Hey, who?
property.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
but the father should. The father, if he cared anything about his daughter, should be like,
He wouldn't
no,
do that.
you can't. You shouldn't even go on the fight.
a man risked his life. He went out there and fought the battle for him and won
Yeah,
and
but the
captured the
father
city.
shouldn't have even like let him do that. Like I would have told,
Right.
no, if you win,
You
you're
can't.
not marrying my daughter.
Don't even
Mm.
go out, so he
Mhm.
won't think about it.
All right,
Wow,
so
would you?
right, so I'm asking, so what would y'all say to your uncle? Like, cause your uncle was like, "Yo, he won." What would you say to your dad first and foremost? Like, yo,
That's
Why?
whack.
I would laugh
They'd
and
be
walk
like, I
away.
can't do.
I will laugh and walk away.
so check it though. So the story doesn't end there. So my man, the uncle won, right? And so, like I said, verse 18, it says, when Asa came to Athanio, it says in verse 17, Athanio, son of Kenaz, Caleb's brother, captured the city. So Caleb gave his daughter Asa to Athanio to be his wife. Verse 18, it says, when Asa came to Athanio, she told him to ask her father for a field. So Asa went to her father. When she got down from her donkey, Caleb asked her, what do you want? Asa answered, do me a special favor. Since you have given me land in southern Canaan, also give me springs of water. So Caleb gave her the upper and lower springs. Then the tribe of Judah got the land God had promised them. Each family group got a part of the land. So this was the final straw for the last tribe to get the piece of the land that God had promised. So if you want to put it in perspective, this was like the last part of the land that they need to work out. All the tribes, majority of the tribes got their land to settle in. So as some of the tribes were settling, some of them didn't go fight anymore. They started settling in their land while other parts of the tribe continued to go and fight to conquer the land that God had gave them. So they're now at that last straw. So Caleb is like, yo, I done my battle now. I need somebody to, go handle this last remnant for me and capture the city. And whoever wins, I will honor them by allowing them to marry my daughter. But then his little brother was like, yeah, I got it. And went and took care of business. So I feel like his last parting gift for his daughter, he gave her the springs of water that she wanted. Was that enough? Is that enough for y'all? So if your dad was like, yo, all right, you got to marry your uncle, but I'll give you 10 acres of land for you to grow your family on, would that be enough?
No, because
No.
it's not even mine.
No.
It's never my husband.
No, wouldn't be no marriage.
Sister Jones,
I'm
sometimes
still
you
stuck with
gotta,
my uncle.
Sister Jones, you gotta put yourself in Bible Day context. So it would have been a marriage. You would have had to happily do it with
Yeah.
with spirit and
That's
truth.
why I wasn't born then, because I couldn't do that. That's why I came years and years later. God made me later. He knew this child couldn't handle it.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to every episode we bring up some craziness like that, but I mean,
Happens that way.
that's what happens.
Right.
And the father had to approve of it.
And I understand that for that time. And like I said, God knew that Edna she wouldn't be able to handle it. So she came years and years later. So I didn't have to deal with that. Wouldn't be able to answer that for you because I wouldn't do it.
Okay. June, I have a question for you. Are you there, June?
Mhm.
Okay, I got a prominent question for you because last couple episodes back, you had said you couldn't get up for your dad. What's good with your uncle?
Uncle.
I got uncle.
I can't get excited.
Yeah, you can't get excited for your uncle neither?
No.
At least you know he'll protect you.
No,
He can go fight.
No.
I would take myself.
Not any of my uncles.
Yeah, who is it?
No,
But you
thank
say
you. I said none of my uncles.
Oh, man. That's funny.
your uncles. Mm.
Sister Plummer, what about you?
No. No.
You said that was a strong no. Yeah, I got you. I mean, I definitely understand, but you are also, again, all of y'all are looking at this from
Today.
a today's
Mindset.
standpoint. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't.
There too.
Yeah, I don't think that. I couldn't see herself being excited to want to marry her uncle.
We wouldn't have children.
Nah, I think that tribe probably flourished
Yeah.
through your lineage.
It would have been a marriage.
Yeah, it would have been a marriage, and you would have been.
And you'd have had kids.
Yep, you would have been dropping it like it's hot.
Yeah. Many kids. You would have been fruitful and
Multiplying.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're not living back in them days.
Yeah, man.
Thank God.
Yeah, I knew I was going to probably throw y'all for a loop on that one, but I just wanted to kind of bring out again how, like, even for him, we looked at a couple episodes ago. We looked at the decision that the father made for his daughter to have to die, and then here in this situation, the father's making a decision to give his daughter hand in marriage. And I'm pretty sure when he made that choice, that decision, he probably was thinking like one of the young men, the up and coming, fellas, fine young man to go win the war, prove himself. I know he wasn't thinking that his brother was going to be the one.
Exactly.
But couldn't he have told his brother no and just let the next person come forward?
I don't know if it was. Yeah, I don't know if it was like, oh, you choose who you gonna choose to go send the fight. It was more of, whoever go handle their business is the one that comes back. So maybe his brother had pull, or he had a couple of guys to come along with him because he is the king's, not the king, but he was Khalid's brother. So, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he had pull or something. I don't know.
But why would the uncle want his niece? I mean, there was other women. Why would he want his niece?
I mean, there's perverts nowadays that go after their nieces and.
But maybe he had some feelings for her. Maybe he had been looking at her.
Maybe he wanted whatever prize he was going to get besides her.
No, I wouldn't even talk to my father if he had let that go through. I just feel like the father should have done something.
So you said he wanted the land and all the other stuff.
I think it's possible. Like, it was a perk to, I guess maybe she was a young, beautiful woman, but if he gets her, he's going to get something else besides just her. So maybe he wanted whatever that was. That prestige, that honor, the land.
Yeah, why couldn't he just ask him for it?
He could have.
Probably wanted her to.
But, I mean, all right, so let me ask this then. So if your father was like, all right, yeah, I'm going to send some of the young men out And whoever goes win this victory for me, you'll get the fine young man who, which y'all would have been like, all right, Dad, cool, I'm with that.
I'll be like, who you sending first?
Well, any one of the young,
Yeah, they good, you know.
any one of them who would have went out there, you would assume that it would have been somebody who athletically built, a warrior, can protect you and your family, you know, probably young, same age as you or whatever, you know what I mean? Like somebody who's going to go out and you would figure that Khalib's brother, your uncle, will be tired of fighting too, you know what I mean? Like he wanted to chill too. You would assume
Yeah,
that.
wasn't he married?
And he must be kind of old too. If he,
Right.
if the,
Wow.
wow, yeah, that's old.
But needless to say, my man wanted to still.
All I can say is I thank God I wasn't back there.
Yes, 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 yes.
He didn't have to be
Smart
old.
though. Yeah, that's true. She was smart for asking though for water, like for asking for a spring afterwards, because the land that her dad promised her didn't have like a spring running through it, so it would have been hard for them to grow crops or food, you know, for livestock to thrive, you know. So he actually granted her request.
Yeah.
But she was
Absolutely.
planning for their
Smart.
future together.
Yeah, she was still exactly. Yeah, she was planning to survive well.
So, Jen, you would have just accepted it and just say, hey, let's make it happen?
So I'm saying, if I was born in biblical days, I mean, they brothers married sisters, half sisters, you know. So I mean, it's not unheard of. Now, when it came to Lot and his daughters, no, you know, I'm not my sister. No. But with this, no, I don't want to marry Uncle Alphonse or
Uncle
none
Lawson?
of them.
Well, I married his cousin.
Man.
None of them are appealing to me to marry. Great uncle, but you know, but I mean, back in the day, that's it's what it is.
Well, our cousin married his cousin.
Yeah. That's why, Jen, I asked you what side of the family when you said that before, because you had it on both sides.
Oh.
Yeah, we going silence of the lamb.
That don't sound right.
Don't let the people know how crazy our family is.
Yes, no, Jen, both sides.
To clarify that, it's not what it sounds like. But
Nah, when I found that out, I was like, what? Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
But to let you know it
But
still
that
happens.
was the norm back in the day.
Mm-hmm. All right, it is 9:57. Parental Approval was this episode title. We got some perspective from some moms who gave a perspective on what they think the ideal person would be for characteristics, should I say, for their child to marry. Although they also said that they would try to build a relationship with whoever their child married and try to develop a relationship and give their approval. With that being said, we are going to tap out tonight. So as our pastor always
See all
say,
this snow outside?
yeah. As our pastor say at our church, be safe, be blessed, be well. Y'all stay warm. Thank y'all for listening, and y'all have a good night.
You too.
Good night. God bless.